Hello everyone, welcome to a new video for Bitcoin price prediction based on Elliott Wave analysis. We're gonna start with the daily analysis here. Starting with the daily, of course, where we are looking at our channeling after, of course, our bull run here, exiting, of course, the base channel as a signal that this is a correction there. And we couldn't reach, of course, again, the acceleration channel from there, looking, of course, for this resistance from the base channel. Meaning, of course, yes, we are in a potential ABC expanding flat that it might still be unfolding. However, of course, we have a signal here of something else unfolding rather than being an impulse. It might be, of course, a diagonal here unfolding as a 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5 toward the downside. By all means, we are still looking at the same target, at the same scenario, ABC expanding flat. But, of course, rather than being in an impulse, we are very likely here to be, of course, in an ending diagonal where you have finished a zigzag wave 1. We're looking for a wave 2, wave 3, 4, and a 5 toward the downside. As you can see, the price is ranging outside the new base channel taken from the wave 1 based on the wave 2, meaning, of course, the things are starting, of course, to be out of the controlling of this acceleration of this base channel. Especially that we couldn't reach the acceleration channel in a wave 5 yet. And the wave 4 here, in case, of course, this is a double 1, 2 there. And wave 3 and wave 4 is very, very long in time here, which is already almost invalidation, of course, for the scenario. Now, if you take a closer look as well, you can start to see here a potential diagonal is, of course, forming there as an ending diagonal. It can be, of course, an A, B, and a C. And it can be kind of like a diagonal. However, the wave 3 here is a little bit longer than the wave 1, which is not nice and not allowed actually. Otherwise, you have to consider this is your wave 1 as a zigzag, wave 2 given, and we're looking at wave 3, 4, and a 5 might still unfold toward the upside here to finish up the ending diagonal in this form. And it can, of course, hit again the base channel, the old base channel, as of course it did before, and it has played a role as a resistance, which it might play the same role again when we arrive to this area. I would like to mention also that the moving average here for, of course, the 100 moving average, we are on the daily exactly resisting the price over there. Now, it can be, of course, even pushing a little bit higher to reach the 200 moving average, especially, of course, the moving average is signaling here, of course, a bearish cross. And, of course, this is once you start a bear market, you would like to see this bearish cross appearing, of course, the same as for the bullish. When you get, of course, a bullish cross, you start a potential bull run here. And that's why I use always the 100 and the 200 the EMA here to always signaling, of course, the trend first, and also if there is some bullish or bearish crosses, which signaling is something, of course, bearish or bullish for the daily. So basically, we have the bearish cross here. Now, I believe that the price might still, of course, range to this high. It can reach, of course, the 200 EMA here. And then, of course, find the resistance point from there and start, of course, a drop again for a wave 3 in a potential, of course, a diagonal 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5. Now, if we break the EMAs and, of course, we break the base channel here, this is, of course, a signal for something else unfolding much higher than this, which we're gonna see right now, of course, in the next labels. Now, we're gonna start, of course, with the bearish scenario. Now, of course, the expanding flat as an impulse wave C, well, is a far possibility because the wave 3 is unfinished here in double 1, 2. Of course, wave 3, 4, 5, 4, 5. We don't see, of course, any kind of a possibility for a wave 4, especially that the wave 4 is very long in time. Therefore, I'm shifting, of course, here to this possibility, which is totally bearish here as well, that it can be, of course, a W, an X here, and a wave Y. Now, in this WX and a Y, of course, you have already a zigzag. Your wave C here is an expanding flat. As an ABC, you finish the W, you have another ABC as a wave B or an X here, and you're looking for a wave Y or a wave C, of course, which it can be also an impulse or a deeper zigzag in 3 waves. So this scenario, of course, is gonna be a little bit deeper, 0.38, because this considers that, of course, here where you have finished your wave 1 and not over there. This is not an ABC anymore expanding flat, but it is a zigzag or an WXY deeper wave 2. And that means, of course, you have finished a 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5 in 5 waves as well to finish a wave 1. And currently, of course, looking for a deeper correction that it might reach the 50K, 56K, and even, of course, in Confluence, you can reach the 50K around the 1-to-1 fib level, and of course within this very stronghold area here in Confluence as well. The next scenario is, of course, the one that we saw already with the impulse, but rather than being impulsive in an expanding flat here, you might change psychology and being, of course, in a ending diagonal, meaning this wave 2 is still unfolding over there, and then we might see, of course, this diagonal, especially, of course, that it is in Confluence here within the moving averages, of course, the 200 and the 100, where we might see, of course, the wave 2 hitting it and then pushing it down, of course, one more time again. The final scenario that we might have here is, of course, a little bit more bullish, and of course it might be an extended wave 5 for this bull run that we did not finish potentially, where we have 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5. Wave 5 is still unfolding as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 ending diagonal. This ending diagonal wave 5 can still take the high here, of course, one more time in an ending diagonal wave 5. And if this wave 5 becomes longer than the wave 3, meaning breaking the 1-to-1 fib level, that means you are in an ultimate bullish scenario wave 3 here, meaning you have double 1, 2, wave 3. And of course, you have to consider those are also double 1, 2, and this is your main wave 3 towards the upside. So we're talking here very, very bullish, but of course, very, very early to talk about this scenario. Now, the highest possibility on the daily for me right now is, of course, the diagonal, the ending diagonal, which can be, of course, this scenario there, which is in confluence as well with the moving averages 100, 200, and of course it is a perfect as, of course, zigzag that we are seeing right now, and of course that we might continue the drop, of course, for this bear market sooner or later. Yep, so this is regarding the daily. Now if we move inside it on the 2 hours chart here, yesterday we saw a very nice pump toward the upside as expected in our blue box, and I mentioned this, of course, before pushing toward the upside. We were still there before the analysis, and of course after 1 or 2 hours we got, of course, our target perfectly and very fast, honestly. So basically we have finished kind of like a zigzag wave 1 here, and you have, of course, wave 2. You have another diagonal here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for wave A, B, and a C potentially, and finished, of course, can be. But yeah, honestly, if we dive inside the 1 hour chart, I don't see yet a finished impulse. I see, of course, double 1, 2 here, wave 3, 4, and a 5. 4 and a 5 might still be unfolding. Therefore, I'm still looking for higher, especially after hitting, of course, our wave 4 here, target in the red zone, 0.38 fib level. I'm looking right now for this wave 5 in the gray to finish wave 3 in the white, and then continuation, of course, toward the upside. Meaning the new targets, since this one are taken, the new targets for this wave 5 here would be the following, of course, taken from the wave 3 here, and based on the wave 1. So I'm looking for this blue box, of course, between the 97 and the 90K, 98K, of course, for wave 3, in a wave 5 as well. And then we'll see another 4 and a 5, very likely to take, of course, our 99K here for Bitcoin as expected already since a very long time. And we're still, of course, looking at this scenario unfolding there. Yep, so these are the possibilities for Bitcoin, and we'll see, of course, what's going to happen in the intraday today. So stay tuned. Thank you for watching. Thank you for your likes and comments. See you in the next one. Bye-bye.